Oh, 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 guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a hairstyling video. I know I haven't done one of these hairstyling videos since I cut my hair, but it's actually grown so much since I've recently done like a hairstyle video. So this is actually the hairstyle that I've been wanting to show you guys, just because it's super easy, super simple, and it takes at least like 10 minutes, I want to say. But yeah, I love doing this hairstyle just because, like, for me, I like to spend more time on my makeup than I do my hair, and this is just like a quick, easy look, and I feel like it just makes me look more put together than wearing my hair in a bun all the time. So yeah, if you guys want to see how I do this effortless wavy hair, then please keep watching. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. So this is what my hair looks like when it's freshly washed. This is actually it washed last night, and then I just slip on it, and this is, you know, what I come out with. It is very frizzy, but it does have texture in it, and it is wavy. But for me personally, this is not how I can just wake up and go to work, or wake up and go out of the house. It is mainly because it's just too wild, and I want to kind of tame it down, make it more stylable, and make it look a lot sleeker. Well, firstly, I like to take a curling iron, an actual curling iron, not a wand, a curling iron. I do use wands as well, but I have been using a curling iron just for this look, because it does make the waves look a little bit effortless. So this is actually the Hot Tools curling iron, and I believe this is a 1.5 inch or maybe a 2 inch. I'm not really sure. If I can find it, I will definitely put it down below, but I did get this at, I believe, Ross, and it was like only like 10 bucks or something like that. It's my favorite curling iron. I actually like using this to wrap my hair around, like a wand as well. I actually use this curling iron on my clients as well, just because it holds the curl really nicely, and it just works really well. I love how hot it gets. It gets up to 450 degrees, so we are going to be spraying some heat protectant to help protect our hair, but if you wanted to tone it down, it is adjustable if you want to do so. It does have this like little clamp thing where you can actually set it down and it won't burn anything, versus, you know, just setting it down like this, it will burn, you know, your tabletop or wherever you have it plugged up at. Something else that you can do with this hairstyle is just blow dry it. Like if you just showered or whatever, you washed your hair, you can blow dry it with a round brush. That looks really pretty too. But let's get real, on a day-to-day basis, I don't have time for that. I normally like to take my showers at night, put some leave-in conditioner, and then style it in the morning, because I just feel like it's too much of a long process. Like, I like to do my makeup and then, you know, do a quick hairstyle. I don't like to have to blow dry it and do all that other stuff. So I'm going to show you the first thing I like to do. So I like to spray my hair with some heat protectant. This is the Tresemme Thermal Conditions Heat Tamer Leave-In Spray Heat Protectant. This is my favorite one. This is the one I've been using for literally years. So I just take this. Is this even open? I think this is locked. Yeah, there it goes. And I just like to really just run it through my hair. Kind of just spray it like I would hairspray. Just like all over the hair. I mainly spray it at the ends because we don't want the ends to get damaged. This is just like a old brush that I've had since I was literally a child. It has little baby cats on it. But I just take a brush and I just comb it through to make sure that there's no tangles and that the heat protectant got evenly distributed throughout the hair. After that, you want to take some kind of clip. This is just a random clip that I had in my drawer. I have another one that I really like using because it actually holds my hair really good, but I used it on a client and I have no idea where it is. I just like to section off my hair, that way I can kind of go more in detailed with the curls instead of me losing the hairs and trying to figure out which ones I curled and which ones I didn't. This just separates the hair so I can tell what I've curled and what I haven't curled. So I'm just going to take the curling iron, and this is the part that you guys definitely have to pay attention to, because if you do this wrong, it will create a totally different wave or curl. So with the hair, what I like to do is I like to take about this much hair, so I guess like a inch of hair, I guess you would call that. And what I like to do is I like to, wherever I'm going to put the curl, I like my curls to go, or my waves to go backwards away from my face. I want the clamp part to be facing out instead of in like this. because if you do it like this, it's gonna make it bend this way, and you can kind of see whenever you try to curl your hair like where it's gonna go. So if the clamp is facing outwards, it's gonna make it want to go in. What I like to do is I like to take the hair and I like to kind of just like run it through really quick, and then that's it. Like I just barely even run it through like that, and it will create like this little wave slash curl. And if you want to, you could take smaller pieces. It'll create more of a smaller wave and more detailed, but it just really depends. I just take different sizes, honestly. I take small sizes, I take big sizes, so you're gonna get like this nice wave. I didn't even leave the curling iron on that long. I just basically ran it through, kind of go towards the ends, and then that's it. Like that's literally it. You don't want it to be on the hair too long, because if it is on the hair too long, it starts to get really curly, and then you're gonna end up with like a Shirley Temple curl, and you definitely don't want that. So I take it at the base, and if you want, you can leave the hairs out. Sometimes I do that too, like wear these hairs out and then just take it out like that. So this creates more of a wave, but if you want more like a curl wave, then you can do obviously the ends. I like to do the back part of my hair and the front part of my hair with the ends out, and then the top portion I like to curl in the ends, but it just all depends. Sometimes I do this with more ends or less ends. It just really all depends, but I like to do it different just because it can give it more of a texturized look. So just put it there, and then that's it. I don't like to touch the curls at all. I don't run my fingers through it at all. I just wait until the whole entire hair is done, and then I will, you know, spray it and do all that stuff, add volume to it. But so that it cools down in this form. That way it keeps the curl, so I don't like to touch it. I'm just going to keep repeating this step really quick. That way you guys can see the finished look. As you guys can see, this is what it's looking like on this side. It's very like just loose and effortless versus this side. So you see what a difference it makes from, you know, your natural hair. It just makes it more sleeker and put together than it being like this and frizzy. So once I go over to this side, I like to do the exact same thing. So just remember where the clamp's supposed to go. So we're going on this side of the hair. The clamp is going to be facing actually inside now, because the curls are going to go away from the face. Clamp was facing out, the curl would come here and it would want to bend this way, and we don't want that. We want it to face the opposite way. That way it frames the face. If you do curl it inward, it does give more of like a old Hollywood curl, and that's really pretty too if you want that kind of look. But if you're going for more of a, you know, effortless, more wavy look, then this is definitely, you know, how you would want to style it. I like to do exactly how I did the other side to this side. The only thing that really changes is the top portion of the hair, somewhat, just because like my hair, the way it's parted and stuff like that, which I will show you guys once I get to it. But I'm just going to curl this really quick so I can show you guys. Moving on to the top portion of the hair, I actually part my hair like right here on my right side of my eyebrow, and I make a line, and then it kind of just like parts here. But what I like to do is I like to finish off the whole other side of my hair first before I go into that side, because for some reason the way my hair's cut and everything, the way it parts, it usually has lesser hair on this side. So I take lesser pieces or smaller pieces to make it look like I have, you know, more thickness on that side versus this side. This side, you know, it doesn't need help with adding thickness, so I just kind of just curl it like I do the other parts of the hair. Once I start getting closer to my face, where my, I guess, face frame would be, I like to take smaller pieces like this just so it could really just frame the face, and it doesn't look like we just have one big curl in the front, you know what I mean? So I like to take thinner pieces and smaller pieces, and I will of course do the same thing, but I like to leave the ends more out when I start getting towards the face. Now this side of the hair is done, and another reason why I like to take smaller pieces is that way if, like, you know, throughout the day our hair starts to like move on its own, it doesn't turn into like this one big gigantic curl. That's like kind of how I like to do it, is taking smaller section and bigger sections. That way they're different, so they don't, you know, start attaching to each other. I don't know if that makes sense. Hopefully I'm making sense, but I've just noticed that with this hairstyle, if you do all the curls the same exact size, it starts to just cling together and it doesn't look good. You constantly have to like keep tousling your hair. That way you can separate them. Piece of this side of the hair minus the bangs, and I will show you how I like to style my bangs as well, because I do kind of have shorter bangs from when I cut my bangs straight across, so they haven't like really fully grown out yet. So I'm gonna show you guys how I like to style those. And I just like to take the curling iron, and you can do this with a straightener too. It just really depends on how much time you have. Sometimes, like me, I don't have time to bust out, you know, a straightener, so I just like to do it with a curling iron. So what I like to do is I like to take the hair and kind of just like barely even leave it in the clamp and just like do this, so that it kind of just like, I don't know, it makes them more like flat, I guess. But like I said, you can do this with a straightener as well. It would probably give it more of like a feathered look, but I just like it to look more like natural. So that's pretty much what I do with the bangs. And then so once I go to this side, I guess because my hair has my bangs and it has more layers on this side, sometimes like this side looks a little thinner. So what I like to do is I like to take about like this or less, like this much hair on this whole side of the head. That way it can make smaller curls and it can make it look like we have more hair on this side. So I just like to do this very quickly. So now the whole entire hair is done. So you see how like some curls are kind of sticking together. We're going to fix that in just a second, but I'm going to show you guys like how to fluff it up and make it look more effortless, I guess. The first thing I like to do is I like to just take my fingers and kind of just like do this, like kind of just, I don't know, just put your fingers through it and make it a little bit messy. Don't like put your fingers through it like this, like kind of just grab the curls and kind of just like shake it, I guess, and you will see that it will start to get a little bit more fluffier. And you can take like the ends and do this and it will like start to separate. What I like to do is I like to get a comb like this. You can take any comb as long as it has like separated bristles like this and not like something like this or something like this. You want to take something that's more separated. And what I like to do is I like to get my hairspray. This is the Moroccan Oil Hairspray Luminous Hairspray. I got this for Christmas last year, and I still have like a full-size bottle of it, but you can get this at Target, or you can just use, you know, really any hairspray. What I love about this hairspray, it doesn't make your hair crunchy, so that's why I use that one. But I just spray it on the brush, and then what I like to do is I like to go like this, like just take the hair and push it up so it gives more volume, and it also just helps separate the curls. But since the hairspray is on the brush, you know what I mean, it's gonna help keep the style in place. So I just like to do that, and then I kind of go along my bangs, but I start using a different brush. This is the Paul Mitchell Pro Tools Teasing Comb, and I got this at the section inside Walmart that sells hair products. I actually sell Paul Mitchell inside of Walmart wherever they have hair cutting places, so this is where I got it from. But I also like to spray the brush, and what I like to do with my bangs is I like to kind of just like tease them like this, so that they stay in place. I kind of just like tease under it, and then I kind of just brush over it. And then what you could do too is you could start sectioning off your hair and then just add volume to the root. That's what I like to do mainly on this side, because this side I already have a lot of volume, but for some reason this side never has that much volume. So I like to tease it at the top. And then I will take just a little bit on this side and tease right here. And what you want to do is pick up the hair and push it down like that, and then brush over it so you can't see the tease in it. After you're all done, what you want to do is just pick up the hair section by section and then just spray it like this. But I don't like to add too much hairspray because it does weigh down my hair sometimes, so I just like to very carefully just tousle it and then spray it, and then you're pretty much done. And what I like to do is I like to push my hair behind my ear like this, and then you're done. Okay, so there you have it. This is how I like to style my shorter hair. This is the Effortless waves that I've been wearing in my recent video. So I wanted to really just come on here and show you guys because it's super easy and it takes me about 10 minutes to do this whole entire hairstyle. If you guys really enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to give me a huge thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to hit the bell down below. That way you guys can be notified every single time I upload. And that is it. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!